TV host Mark Lamont Hill went to Twitter and said the following. Black women are routinely disregarded. Their pain is literally dismissed or underestimated. Their reported symptoms are often ignored. There is a reason why Black mothers and Black children die more at birth and soon after. And a guy named Barrington Martin II, he ran for Congress in Georgia. Sounds like he lost. And he also has his own podcast and things like that. He disagreed with that tweet and he said this. Yeah, and it's mostly due to health habits and practices. And so he also goes on to list the weight of women in America, white women, Asians, Hispanics, and Black women, noting that Black women are the heaviest at about, on average, 186 pounds. And so I want to say this. Yes, Black women, there are things that we can do to minimize some of the health things that we go through, right? So nobody's going to argue that. And yes, we tend to be a little bit more on the heavier side than other women, but let's keep it real. We working with a little bit more. Now, in all seriousness, for real though, I mean, some things that we can do to get down in weight. So I don't want to be too funny about that. However, I want to tell y'all a personal story. I, at one point in time, went to the doctor. Now, mind you, I was at my healthiest. I was like 143. So I wasn't heavy at all. In fact, I think I was a little bit too small. So I go for a normal checkup. And the doctor, she comes in and she brings in a nutritionist. And they tried to run game on me by telling me, oh, I'm pre-diabetic. Now, mind you, I, know what the numbers are to some degree. And she tells me the number that was like a little bit before being pre-diabetic. And I was like, wait a minute, no. I said that number, I think it was like 6.0 or something like that. I said that number does not make me pre-diabetic. And she goes, well, it's close to. And I said, nah. I said, I'm going to tell you something. And my daughter was there. Now, the nutritionist thought my daughter was a lot younger. And my daughter, she looks a lot younger than she actually is. And she tried to admonish me. She says, well, you need to be setting an example for your daughter. And you need to eat healthy. And I'm just listening to her, swinging my legs on the table, just waiting for her to finish. And I said, okay, now that you've done, I said, a couple things need to happen here. So first of all, I am a staunch vegan. I exercise 2 and 3 times a day. I said, so there's nothing about me that's diabetic. And then I turned to the doctor. I said, you need to take that up out of my charts. I said, because if I want to go get more life insurance, they're going to read into my chart and see that you have listed me as a pre-diabetic. I said, I am not pre-diabetic and you need to take that out. And they both looked at me like, and I want to say that the doctors, they were both Asian. So I'm just put that out there. It wasn't white doctors. It was Asian doctors. They both looked at me and she says, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Now I say all of that to say there are times when Black women get, I want to say in my case, purposely misdiagnosed. And we know pharmaceutical companies, they have a big hand in it and all of that. And a lot of it is just, well, I believe, and I'm thinking from a doctor's point of view, not all, but some, she ain't smart. We'll just diagnose her as being pre-diabetic, put her on, because they were trying to prescribe me medicine too, put her on all this medication that she don't need for whatever reason. I don't know, but I'm just going to speculate. It had a lot to do with making more money, but I knew better. And so I'm saying, yes, it happens. To this Barrington Martin's point, is not just that we need to do other things. I was healthy, so that does happen. And the other thing, I always say this, we as Black people need to stop falling for the appeal to authority mistake. Now, I call it a mistake because a lot of times the appeal to authority is, well, because she's a doctor, she must be right. And oh, who am I to question her, right? If I'm pre-diabetic, I'm pre-diabetic. But see, the other thing is we need to know what they know. That at least what we can speak on their level. Because if I didn't know what the numbers were to be considered a pre-diabetic, I would have said, well, okay, doctor, I guess I'll take this medicine. But I knew better. So we need to stop falling for appeal to authority. And we need to learn what there is to learn. Don't go to the doctor ignorant. Google. Figure out what it is that they're saying so you can be like, okay. And even if you don't know what they're talking about, at least say, okay, hold on a minute, doctor. Let me go on to Google. See what you're talking about. So that way you can be on the same page instead of them just talking over your head and just trying to do and say everything to you that you don't know, and you may end up getting misdiagnosed. And so a lot of notable people like Serena and Beyonce, they were both in jeopardy of their life during childbirth. So we know that's a thing. So to try to minimize and say that as black women need to do something about their weight, I think that's simplifying a very large issue, bigger than it really is, right? So again, I don't want to say it's not within our control. Some of that is, but if I'm laying on the table having a baby, I can't control that. My life and my baby's life is in the hands of the doctor. So I think we need to educate ourselves, Barrington. So y'all tell me what you think of this. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, The Demetra Kaye Show, here on YouTube. Peace.